Yeah, we're here again for another unboxing and probably a review. This is the, yeah, I don't know if it's hype, but, you know, recently talked about EA500LM from Simgot. Thank you so much, Simgot, for sending this over. Yeah, so I actually, yeah, the reason why I won't be doing any first impressions because I actually heard it from OB Audio when I went to Manila. I just can't say no to that, you know. At that time, I haven't received the EA500LMs yet, so I gave them a try. And that would be, you know, dishonest for me for saying that, you know, doing a first impressions video of the EA500LM if I have already heard of them. But anyhow, let's just do a quick unboxing here. If you have the EA500s, it's gonna be a similar feel, like this, the box here. The IEMs would be sitting here. You got the accessory box. The ear tip should be here, which is pretty much empty because, like, I don't know, like this big of a box with just a pouch of ear tips. In the accessories box, you get, you know, the case with the nozzles and some rings. That's pretty much it. And the stock nozzles are the gold ones. You get the red and black nozzles. So let's not take it long. Let's talk about its sound. Yeah, so this is the set here, the EA500 chickens. Oh my god. This is the set here. It's darkish in color, kind of like gunmetal compared to the EA500, which is like silver. The cable it's nice. It's, you know, typical Simgot. I think it has the same cable as the EM6L, I think. So let's move on to the sound. The signature of this is reminiscent of, I won't actually say it's reminiscent of the EA500s, but it's closer to the EW200s actually, in a way that it actually follows a similar curve, and the only change would probably in its level of bass and probably the bass quality overall and the smoothness. Now, why not the EA500s? The EA500s are kind of like lean in the bass and probably like unevenness in the upper mids and the treble. And I do think the drivers are a little bit different because the EA500s tend to focus on the upper mids and treble nuance, but this one here, it kind of like focuses on in the lower end, the lower mids to the bass. That's what I thought about it. And comparison to the okay, I'll talk about that later anyway because I'm gonna score them anyhow. So for the scoring, also my scoring is really easy. It's just like my average is 2, highest is 3, and I've got 0.5 in between, lowest is 1. So 2 is average, 2.5 I don't like, I'm sorry, 2.5 I like, and 3 is I love, and 1.5 being I don't like, and 1 is I hate. So for tonality, when I first listened to it, I thought like it's not average, you know? I like the set. It's kind of like it has that warm. This is coming from the gold nozzle, by the way. I'll be giving my impressions based on the gold nozzles because I like, yeah, I like the gold nozzles better than the red and the black, and I'll explain that later. So for tonality, I think I'm giving it a 2.5. It gives off like a warm, balanced set. Very good bass texture actually. But yeah, very soothing to listen to, easier to listen to actually. So it's 2.5 for me. Not a 3 because I would have liked it to, I don't know, like it's just personal preference. Anyhow, it's 2.5. I like it. Now for the bass though, bass is easily a 3 on these. I actually like it quite a lot because I don't know, it for some reason it has that separation of sub bass and mid bass, and man, bass guitars and drums are just satisfying to listen to. Like they're very tight, but in a way it doesn't really muddy up the frequency. It's so well separated. It's fast as well. Like I listen to like double pads and things like that from metal and like even EDMs. Like I really find the bass texture on these really amazing for its price range. And yeah, that bass for that is a 3. For the mids, I think I'd be giving it 2.5. I don't love it to a certain degree, but I like it because vocals aren't really that recessed. They sound pleasing to listen to. Not in the territory of being natural, but yeah, I mean, I could hear like bass guitars, not bass guitars. Guitars sound good, vocals sound good. Yeah, 2.5. It's above average for sure. Now, the thing that I don't like about these would probably the treble. There's nothing really special about the treble. I mean, it's not bad in a way, but it felt like Or probably it's just because of the bass. Like, I felt like the treble was a little bit thin for my preference. Now, cymbal hits still sound cymbals, but they're approaching kind of like the BA timbre thing, wherein they roll off pretty quickly, things like that. I mean, like, they don't have that crispness, or how to say, I mean, it's still a cymbal though, but I just thought that they're a bit thin sounding. So it's not bad in a way. They're not peaking, they're not shouty, but it's just that I felt like the timbre is a bit off. Not to the point that I don't like them, but that's why I'm giving it a 2 for treble, which is average. Moving on to technicalities, I think for the text I'm gonna give it what? 3. 3, because as I've mentioned about the bass separation, it actually carries through the mids and the treble. It has that kind of like deep stage wherein like the bass would surround you with very good separation, mids, and then the treble not being muted but not too far. So it kind of like gives you that very good proportional stage, wherein Simgot is really good at doing that. Because with the EA500, it's really trippy for me. Like, and same with the EW200s and the EA1000s as well. So for the text, I gave it I'll give it a 3, just because, not because of its resolution, but because of the separation and layering of instruments and like everything in the music. So not only in alternative tracks, I found it in even J-pop and K-pop tracks. It's very easy to follow drum patterns and instruments and the vocals. So yeah, I think the text on these are great for me. So that's a total of 13, which is A in my ranking. Not an S, but an A. Still, it's a solid buy. What can I say? It's another successful product from Simgot in my opinion. So if people would love, I don't know if it's like bass head level, but for me, the bass on these are actually really good for the price. Because some people in the comments ask me like, what are my benchmark for bass, and I can't really answer because I haven't found anything like that has a very good bass in this price range. But now I think I have an answer. So if people would like bass quality, I think I'm gonna recommend the EA500LM for that. So moving on to comparison, so as I've mentioned, I have the EW200s here. Is it a direct upgrade? I think, like, if you feel like, because the EW200s can be shouty in the treble. Yeah, that's what I thought, in higher volumes. So if you feel like it's too shouty for you, it's still good though, because it's like half the price. This one's like, how much are these? Like 89 bucks, 80 to 89 bucks. So but still, like, the bass quality on these I think is enough upgrade. I don't know, yeah, I think. But still, if you're in a budget, I think you could keep the EW200s and just probably like put filters on and mod or dampen the vent holes, you know, to increase the bass so that it can compensate for the upper mids. For comparison with the EA1000, I'm sorry, EA500s, as I've mentioned, this is maybe a twin. I'd say it's a twin. Yeah, maybe it's a twin. Like this one's like in the brighter side, and this one's in the not darker but focus on the low end. So if you're into brighter stuff, maybe the EA500s, the OG, and if you're into like bass, then maybe the LMs. But as you can see in the tuning, they're pretty much different. Like this one's here is closer to the EW200s. And now for the expensive one, the EA1000, I mean, I ranked it S plus, and I gave its bass 3.5 for some reason. Like, cause I don't know, like I play drums, I have my electric drums here. I don't know if you can see that. Yep, yeah, there I go. So I don't know, like for me it's like the air it produces, the EA1000, is just, maybe it's just me, it may be different for you, but for me, the texture on the bass on these is very realistic for me, especially on the kick drums. We have different ears and we have different needs. I gave it a 3. So for the bass on these, like, I think that it's actually good for the price. It's very close to the bass presentation of the EA1000s, the 500LMs, but not yet to the point that it would surpass the EA1000 bass for me. The bass on the EA500LMs is still good, but not enough yet to, I mean, this is 3.5 bass. Yeah. Now, another point that I want to make is about tuning and graphs. Now, the gold nozzle here graphs very similar to the red nozzle, right? Like, it's like, man, like I uploaded it. It's very, very identical. Like, I don't know, like 100%, you'd feel like they're just both channels. The difference would be on the nozzle, on the gold nozzle, there are foams inserted, right? There are foams. On the red nozzles, there aren't any foams. And you'd immediately feel that the red nozzle is brighter and a bit harsher, okay? And on the gold nozzle, when you listen to them, you'd feel that the treble is a bit tamed and it focuses more on the bass. Okay? I don't think this is placebo, okay? If you are a measure baiter and you think that they sound the same, and you think that the foams on the gold nozzle doesn't affect anything, I don't know. I'd bet I'd bet anything to disprove that. Because for my ears, maybe the change is minimal. Maybe my ears are just sensitive, but there is change and it doesn't reflect on the graph. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say is I graph, I do measure IEMs, but at the same time, I don't think that graph is everything, because this is a very big, for me, this is a very big evidence that even if they graph the same, they don't actually sound 100% identical. The red nozzle and the gold nozzle sound different because they have foams in them. The gold nozzle have foams, but on graphs, they look the same. So I guess that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you subscribe and like my video. I do have other Simgot products that do, and some other items to review, so hope you have a nice day. Bye!